Hi, hi. Are you interested in possible future air travel? I'm going to inform you about future possible transportations for when you want to fly. Right now, we still have these ordinary planes that needs two pilots, and that has a flight attendant. However, I have some big news to tell you. That in the near future will change. They're working on making it so we can have our own plane, not even have to go to the airport, and that would truly pilot us. And even if we did want to go to the airport, we could, but the planes may one day not need a pilot. How was that? Right now, in 2019, they actually had a Boeing Artemis air taxi that can go up to 50 miles successfully without needing to land. That has already been successful. And there's another type of Artemis air flight that's already tested to be successful that can go 50 miles without needing a battery charge. Pretty awesome. And these planes do not have wings and they're automated. They're already built, but they're still getting tested and they could soon become a reality. Right now, they're currently getting ready to start having trials for progressing into closer to a pilot's airplane. They're gonna at first building cockpits instead of two pilots with one pilot, and have a remote pilot on the ground monitoring the plane. These planes will be tested to see if this will work out. Of one pilot with new technology that will give the illusion of having two pilots, and there'll still be a pilot on the ground monitoring these planes. And once they have a number of successes on these trials, then anybody can use those kind of planes. Then next step they'll use is maybe not have any pilots and just have remote pilot on monitoring the plane. And they'll be testing to see if this will work out with no pilots in the plane, but just a remote pilot monitoring the plane, make sure that the plane is doing its job. And if they can do that safely and no accidents been reported, then they can move on to its final step called that they actually try having a true pilot's plane getting tested without anybody monitoring it, see if it can safely fly certain people in the air safely. And once that becomes successful, guess what? The planes may become all pilotless. And you can just go, and all these new self-flying planes goes into market and you could go anywhere. And these planes will not have wings. The planes that you'll at first see for auction for a regular person to buy will be planes like the Boeing Air Taxi. It's a taxi where you can fly yourself somewhere, like for transportation, and you may not even need a certified pilot. I don't know, but it's possible. Or you might need some schooling, but it'll be easier than our school for pilots. Same as the Artemis Air Taxi, which is another plane that also is pilotless that can also fly on its own. You still might need to take school for it, but it's going to be a lot easier. And they're building they're planning to have this all ready by around 2030. And is once everything is set up, it's going to help the economy a lot, and the economy will be a lot richer. And the reason why these planes are not here trusted today, because back in the 60s, for instance, there's a reported accident of these self-flying planes, so that slowed this process down. They're working their hardest to make it happen, and they're doing everything they can. And people are right now somewhat fearful that the airplanes might shut down or it might not do its job, but they're working to fix it. And these planes will be like regular planes, but these planes will not need pilots. And some of these planes may not need as much of a runway. And they're going to have all the technology that the airport would have for them to take off, and the technology that the pilots had to keep people safe. And it's going to be really good. And the normal four-wheel planes will have about 7 to 10 people at max, and it'll be able to fly pretty well. But you'll not be able to fly yourself wherever you want. You could fly yourself from wherever you want that's on Earth. Now, in conclusion, I'd like to say thank you. That this was a fun story, and this is actually a story that scientists are working on developing, and they're planning to make new flight transportations for airports and for regular people to fly in, which will be really awesome. Thank you.